Hey guys, welcome back to Maxcast for Unification. Today I have another 1 vs 1 view, this time on Blood River. On the southern side, playing Thousand Suns, we have Medrengard. On the northern side, playing Renegade Guard Tekarn Shogunate, we have vanomorodellefake. Vanomorodellefake is a dedicated Renegade Guard player, probably putting in, yeah. I like the positioning actually, pretty much. We'll talk about this in a second. And he has shared quite a few replays, is pretty active in the war room, mostly saying that Renegade Guard is Tekarn is a bit weak. This might or might not, because of the player strength in some matchups, seems a bit unfair to him. On the other side, I have never seen Medrengard. He opens for Screamers, getting 2 Thrall Wizards and a Siege Cultist. I like that opener. You see that you can afford quite a lot of units afterwards. I would always try to get the 3rd Thrall Wizard out, because it's pretty cheap and allows you to, for example, slowly capture the outside criticals without committing a full combat squad, being it even cultists. And about this positioning, I like this positioning of this inner circle teleportarium, so he has some extra vision and some 1500 building hit points to chew through before the enemies can come into his base, and you can also tunnel network to it. And this position of the Tekarn Field Dojo is more orientated to cover 3 points. I would like to have it a little more in the front, so it would actually cover before the listing post, but that's minor. And even a Torrential Turret already, because it's so cheap, so this is already securing his points as much as possible, and then he can try to contest the other points, it seems. We have now the what are they? The Militia Ranger trying to scout what opener they were going. We see, yeah, the Malfish Pavoni, so he knows his Thousand Suns is Medrengard. You want to go for the shackle with them, so this is basically a shackle ability. And even the Tainted Bolt, I liked it. The Tainted Bolt is an underused ability. This does single target damage, especially useful if you have like these strong commanders like the Tekarn Shogun. You can click on it to do some extra damage. But we have pretty solid guard kind of play, getting these points, these turrets up. The question is, where is his... Does he have only... Where's his 2 ranger, 2nd ranger? Am I missing something? It's not moving here, so this is a mistake. These guys need to move either to the middle or to the outside, or even try to contest this point. Just sitting here doesn't give you any favor. Same actually for the Thousand Suns player. The question is though, he has seen all these turrets. There would be an opener to the base over here, to these generators, so you always want to look for openings and not just standing in the back of the base and waiting. The 2nd generator starting, so what is he trying to go here? Fast tier 2 or what? Even getting the force armor, so this is a bit overcommitment, I think. I would say that the force armor, like two spells is enough, so he even uses it to go in here. And then the heavy bolter pillar, so here we see some unusual gameplay. In comes the Screamers. We need to see a Tainted Bolt if we haven't already. Screamers actually focusing down the Eternal Shogun, and I can't even click on her. She seems to not like this company as he's trying to get out. She's barely surviving. You need an shackle now, and then she will die almost instantly. Or a Tainted Bolt, anything really. Not seen it. I've seen the force armor now, but I haven't seen one of the other spells. So getting all these spells and not using it. But okay, he's now coming back, focusing down this Torrential Turret, and even getting this contested point decapped if the Thrall Wizards will survive, which they will not. But there's another squad actually coming in. And yeah, he did go for all 3. The cultists doing cultist things, capturing the critical location. So very good gameplay by Medrengard, I have to say. You need a Renegade Tactica. Vanomorodellefake is floating like a hell of a lot. You need to build a Renegade Tactica ASAP and then to get to tier 2. Or upgrade some points. Both actually. Upgrade 2 points and then get to tier 2. Tier 2 is about 30% done for Medrengard, so he is using his resources better in this engagement. Quite a lot better. As I said, I do not completely like his choice of spells. And he's now even getting the warp gate. Why would you get the warp gate on transition to tier 2? Maybe he thinks that demons will not help him here, but I think in tier 2 with horrors and the, what's it called, the deceiver, this crab walker thing they have, which is enabled by the demon gate, will surely help you here. The question is, yeah, it would be killed by anti-vehicle, but we do not have any big anti-vehicle right from the get-go, apart from some tank busters. Not sure if they will be enough. Tier 2 is now finished. Warp gate is about to be done. He could go for Chosen. Would be probably a wise choice. Now getting immediately the requisition research. So this is some peculiar gameplay, I have to say. Is he trying to... I don't know. I'm really interested to see what he does get out of these... warp gate over here. Tier 2 should be on the closing as well. Getting some upgrades would be nice, even some more reactors, okay. Warp gate is now here, so is the Occult Forge. So what is this warp gate for? Just to look cool, or I'm not really convinced about this warp gate. He's just not doing stuff in tier 2, okay. I mean, he has the upper hand in terms of map control and economy, not so much, as he is not upgrading his points, while vanomorodellefake is upgrading his points. Now that the research is done, he's ahead again. Dark Library, way too late. We want to get it actually in tier 1. You get some resources back as well. Cultists here now. That's something you can do actually with these cultists, as they are pretty cheap, is to leave them here. Even getting them a flamer, interesting. And if anything comes in close here, they will deny the decap. So, this point is now getting up. Occult Forge is now here. Practicus Coven. That's if you need the Warp Gate and the Occult Forge, but just the cost in all these buildings is absolutely crazy. In comes the Boulder Pillar. Not sure if he did go for the no, not the infiltrated add-on yet. There are the tank busters trying to get this heavy bolter tail. They will lose 1 or 2 models to it because there's only like a singular squad. So yeah, you need to add the sustained fire with other guys as well. You see this heavy bolter turret is more expensive than the usual turret, and you clearly see why. I think it did go for inferno bolts. Pretty much looked like it from the projectile, so that's why it is that good. There's somewhere the war correspondent in here. No, that's the mark from the tank busters. But the exalted champion, exalted sorcerer, needs to make sure not to overstay his welcome over here. Practicus Coven should be out. There they are. Their leaders only enabled in tier 3, so they are on their own for now, but they can jump in and also have an ability, but I forgot what the ability actually is. And there you see it. The suppression from the heavy stoppers in conjunction with these mark from the tank busters is pretty strong. The tank busters are out, so there is an counter already to this Practicus Coven, flying over the hills, losing some HP. And what is he going for? Tier 3 or what? He has so much resources. Now getting a Hellblade. On the other side, the resources look okay-ish, a lot of power. Getting more and more tank busters is, I think, a good choice in general. Getting these heavy stoppers spam, okay. But you need a front line actually. Where's the internal Shogun? Next in a squad of these, okay. The bolter turret will be amazing here. But in comes the first Hellblade. The Practicus Coven would be nice to just come in here and attack the base. They are really good at harassing the base, so this is a misplay. You should jump over, kill these turrets, or jump even over them and try to kill the economy. It's, if you are not sure that you can win the fight in the front, you might want to backstab. A lot of tank busters going down. How cheap are they? They are not cheap. They are relatively expensive, and losing them is hurting him quite a bit. But there comes only one Coven, there comes the second, so there I have a staggered jump, so this is a bit sad, but the Doom Bolt gives them quite the leeway, the disruption they need to get in, but one squad is going down more or less instantly. The Soulstorm needs to come and support. Is he still here? Soulstorm died. Okay, but tier 3 is getting started. So the question is now, can he hold for long enough to get anything meaningful in tier 3, like Terminators, a Predator, something like that. You probably will not be good with infantry with these heavy stoppers, nor will be light vehicles help you because of the tank busters. So this is an interesting combination of heavy stoppers and tank busters. Any AoE damage, I would say though, will kill these militia rangers, because look at their HP, it's super low. So getting even the upgraded Doom Bolts would be something, or the Coven get the your standard Rubric Marines and their leader, they get also a Doom Bolt. So I think just having enough Doom Bolts would help him deal with this pretty convincingly. Not jumping in one squad of Practicus Coven and getting minced by tank buster less cutters is probably not a good idea. They will take some damage, that's for sure, but they also got some upgrades and more Practicus Coven. Not really sure, and now he calls it even before getting to tier 3. So this was not the most optimal plays by both players. I admit that, but I like to see this combination of militia rangers and tank busters. It might look absolutely unkillable, but it only looks like that as until you see the HP. I would say a normal rubric opener or even a rubric transition in tier 2 here. I mean, this was totally unoptimal to getting the warp gate on your way to tier 2. You would rather stick to the demons and get the deceiver and some horrors. This combination would probably also be able to deal with this, because the deceiver do not completely needs to close the distance. He has some pretty good flamers as well, blue flamers, to make short work of these low health infantry. So I think sticking the guns with these demons would be nice, and also his sorcerer, his force armor was nice and all, but I think once he saw this infantry blob, the sorcerer would have been. I never have seen one shackle. Is that correct? I think, yeah, the one misplay was very early on where he could have killed the Eternal Shogun. This would have set back vanomorodellefake quite a lot. And yeah, the Doom Bolt, upgraded Doom Bolts in this juicy blob over here would have been a long way, as well as the upgraded Malficio Pavoni for the AoE damage, if he can get close to this. But even a Rhino would have helped to get him closer. Chosen in this particular situation could have helped, but probably also would have been kited by all these heavy stoppers. So I think, yeah, as I said. And on the other side, the early game wasn't executed perfectly in terms of resources as well as unit capturing. Yeah, but that's these games, they are always not perfect. Enough of that. Thanks you for watching as the usual, guys, and see you in the next video. Bye bye.